Hello and welcome to an interview for the PPL Season 2. I am joined with the one, the only, Mr. Shroomraver. How are you today, good sir?
Hello. Yeah, I'm good, thanks. I'm very good. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. I'm doing great.
Excellent.
So, as you know, as you've done this before yourself, I'm going to be asking you a series of questions. And you're going to answer them truthfully, aren't you?
Of course, I would never do anything else.
Okay, so we're going to start off with a really easy one, if you don't mind answering this.
Of course.
What is the meaning of life?
Pain.
Straight pain.
Yeah, just pain and suffering, really. I used to be way more into like sort of being happy about it, but now I'm old and cynical, and
That's the way to be.
It's just awful, really.
So, if you want to start off with just explaining to everyone who you are, what you do on YouTube, or what you do in general, that'd be good.
Yeah, sure. So, hello everyone. I'm Shroomraver. Mostly Pokemon stuff on YouTube. I've been sort of in and out of the game for a while. And coming back to PPL Bolt and Flare in the season just gone was me getting back into Draft League for the first time in like 5 years.
Oh, wow.
I had a massive break. I used to do it fairly regularly before then with like PPL. I did an analyst for like TBU, GBA D-League, all sorts of stuff like that. Competitions, and then it all got a bit too much, and I sort of sacked that off in favour of other stuff. So bringing Dungeons and Dragons content to my channel, doing stuff like my silly little nickname Academy series. That's my main thing with Pokemon. Like, ability and battling is secondary, nicknaming the most important thing. And yeah, this is kind of getting me back into the game, and excited to be doing so.
Brilliant, lovely, love to hear it. So, like you're saying, you've had a lot of experience with draft leagues in general. So when did you like first start playing Pokemon? When was like the first game?
Oh god, like what? Like just playing Pokemon casually, or like on
just
YouTube
just in general.
Oh crikey. Well, like I say, I'm old and cynical, so like I started with blue version.
Nice.
Like, I got blue version when it came out.
Oh, okay. No, we're talking that old. No,
we're going way back. Oh yeah, absolutely. No, I'm one of the boomer brigade in this season. There's a lot of young talent who have come through since I sort of stopped doing it. Now I've come back and everyone's so much better than I am. But no, I started with blue and I've played basically everything up until like now, apart from Legends. I didn't play that. But other than that, it's been a long old history of Pokemon for me.
Good. Is there any reason why you didn't play Legends, or was it just didn't find time sort of thing?
I'd love to say I didn't find time, but that'd be a lie. And I said I'd tell the truth. I don't do a lot with my days. It was just one of those games that slipped under the radar for me. I wasn't entirely sold on it. I know it got like great reviews and everyone said it was great. One day I'll probably play it. Mostly to complete my living decks.
Yes.
Other than that, no, it's just one of those that sort of slipped under the radar for me. But one day I'll do it.
One day. He's made a promise, guys. He's made a promise.
Absolutely.
So, obviously, we are going into the PPL Season 2. Have you had a look at the other coaches at all?
Oh yes, absolutely. Like there's a lot of people this season who I've battled before. There's a bunch who I haven't, who I'm really excited to hopefully go up against. But yeah, I've been doing my research. I've been following along, seeing what kind of things they're doing. We've got a few people from Bolt and Flare who are back, who I might get to battle. So that'll be a bit of grudge matches either way. But no, I'm keeping my eye on things.
He's got his eye on things, but who in particular, if you had to pick one person, who would you most look forward to battling this season?
Ooh. It's tough because like you've got this crop of people who I haven't played before, and then you've got like the grudge matches. I think one person who I absolutely it's got to be the Don Fanatic, hasn't it? It's
it
got
has
to be.
really.
Like, I mean, he and I have had some cracking games, like going way back years. And obviously he's been out of the game for a while as well.
Yeah.
So to get to play against him again after all this time, he's a very good like personal friend of mine as well. So that's going to be fun. That's going to be very fun. It's going to be interesting to see, because I remember when we used to battle years back, people took the piss out of him a lot, justifiably. He deserved it. And then he unironically got good at the game, and we all sort of went, oh, we can't do that anymore.
That's boring now.
Yeah, it's just not fun anymore. So it'll be interesting to see how he's come along as well, because obviously he's been out much like me. So we're still both going to be shaking the rust off a fair bit, but I'm looking forward to giving a good go to OnesieBanette if possible.
Lovely. Well, I can personally say that I'm looking forward to seeing your side of the videos, because if you guys know, this man has amazing intros. Just the whole video itself is more like an actual video than it is a draft league video. So how are we going to see any more of that?
I mean, it's possible. You know, with Bolton Flair, we had that whole thing going on with alter egos, and we were interviewing professors. It was a whole thing. Like, the police were after me. It was a stressful time. You know, if something comes up, I'm sure I'll be plotting some introductory skits going on. But you know, with the reality of the situation is, that's all behind me now. So, you know, I'm sure that this season there will be no disasters, there will be no stress, all of that stuff with Ultra. That's done now. It's done. It's fine. I'm sure that nothing strange will be happening. Yeah, that is a closed case. I'm sure nothing bad will happen. I'm sure of it.
Wink, wink.
It's fine.
Well, I am looking forward to it either way. Either way, it's going to be great. Let's go with... I have a list here. I'm just reading them off. So
yeah,
let's go with... Okay, so we talked about coaches that you've been looking at, and you said the one person that you'd want to battle is OnesieBanette, but who would be the person that you least want to battle? Who's
Addison.
The scariest?
Addison.
Oh, okay.
Immediate answer, Addison. I mean, she is... There are so many facets to her being. First and foremost, she is incredibly talented. Like, we all know this. Through to semis in season 1, very, very justifiably. She's very, very canny when it comes to drafting. She knows what she's doing. And just like, as a person, she scares me. Just on a base level.
You look very genuine when you said that, though.
Oh, she terrifies me. She genuinely terrifies me. So that, yeah, I would not want to face Addison. That is a terrifying concept. Also, people like Q, the Costa Rican, like you rarely see him outside of playoff contention, whatever league he's in. He's an incredibly talented battler. But like I say, like the standard of battling, I've been away for so long, I come back and suddenly everyone's cracked at the game. And I'm sort of sitting there going, I don't even know what the last generation was. So yeah, there's a lot of scary people out there, but Addison is the scariest of them all.
Right, well, that's a fair answer. I see where you're coming from, I guess. Yeah. We'll go with this. What can the fans look forward to seeing from yourself this season?
Talent. No, I'm kidding.
Pure skill.
just absolute pure raw ability. No, that's clearly not the case. Honestly, what I'm hoping for here is what I was sort of known for way back was total unpredictability.
Yes.
I would try and bring, like, I'm not going to bring heat for the sake of heat, but as someone who did heat of the week in season 1, we love a bit of that. But yeah, I think people can look forward to not seeing necessarily what they expect. I do love looking into drafts and seeing, like, okay, what's the threat that they're not going to see coming? Like,
yes.
what is the thing I'm going to bring where they've prepped for my big old threats, and they look at my team on matchup and go, oh no, he's brought that. I didn't prep for that. That's the thing. And also, what I think big weakness of mine was, I had three big weaknesses, so many big weaknesses in Bolt and Flare. Lack of powerful, speedy wall breakers, lack of speed setup, lack of bulk, lack of talent, all of that. That's going to change. So I'm hoping that I might actually have some defensive synergy. So I'm personally looking forward to hoping that works. We will see if that happens. But unpredictability is my main weapon.
Lovely. So if, without obviously giving it away, and I know you mentioned briefly there on the defensive side, your play style is going to be more offensive or defensive? Without giving it away though, I don't want you to trip yourself up straight away.
No, of course. It's a difficult one, because normally I am very heavily in favour of defensive setup. I think it wins games consistently. However, of course, with like the newer generation, especially this one, and indeed last generation as well, the massive power creep has meant that going with a defensive mindset often means you lose. So that's something I'm going to have to edit. Normally, I'd love to play defensive setup. It's how I always used to do, with this sort of defensive setup into bulky offense, which bulky offense is the way. So we'll see if the draft allows me to do that. But it's difficult because my normal kind of playstyle, I don't think it's going to work this season. So I'm still working that out.
It's in progress.
Yeah. We'll wing it. We'll see how it goes.
Well, if you're going to wing it, definitely do not do what I did.
And what was that?
Just wing it.
Oh, just straight up wing it. No plan. Just go in.
No plan. Same team pretty much every week. Yeah.
Head first, eyes forward, no questions.
Exactly. Got a question for you here. If you could have any Pokemon in real life, what would it be?
Interesting. Because it's not just a case of like what's your favourite. It's what would you have in real life. Interesting. In terms of favourite, Murkrow has always been my favourite. I love to have that little thing on my shoulder.
That is a good pick.
I think just for like an OG, I would love to have this thing chilling in my house. Arcanine would be great.
Yes.
In the case of a zombie apocalypse, Rotom. Yeah, because what happens in all the zombie apocalypse things? Power goes down.
Oh my god, that is so
gets into the motors.
Smart. That is so smart.
Gotta think ahead. And probably Tropius, because it can fly and give me food. Yeah, plenty of options. You've got to depend on the circumstance. You know, are we talking about just like lying around by the fire at Christmas, or has the world gone to crap and I need to survive? You know, changes how I feel about it.
You've really thought about this question, huh?
Oh, absolutely. It's one of my favourite questions to ask is, in a zombie apocalypse, what Pokemon would you have with you? And it's always Rotom.
That is such... I've never thought about that. It's such a good answer. I like that. I like that a lot. I'm glad you didn't say, like, Gardevoir or something like that. That would have changed the tone a little bit.
Oh, goodness. You're not interviewing Matt, Dr. Slacking, are you? Because that guy's a wild card. He could say anything.
Well, exactly. But, finally, the final question. Are you ready for it?
I guess. That's not a very convincing answer, is it? I think, like, as I'll ever be, you know, I've had a bit of practice with Bolt and Flare. I've got, like, a good group of people who we like to sort of theory craft when it comes to the week-by-week building. So, yeah, I think this is sort of as ready as I'll ever be. But heck, we're just going to give it a best shot and see what happens. You know, what's the worst that can happen? We lose every game? It'd be that way. Someone's got to.
Exactly. Well, thank you very much. Guys, if you did enjoy, please do leave a like, and be sure to check out every single person listed down below. Check out all the interviews. All the battles will be on each person's individual channel, so be sure to do that. Mr. Shroomraver.
That is me.
Please sign off for me.
Thanks, Jake, for having me on and interviewing. Yes, everyone, listen to the man. All the links will be down in the description. There's a paste bin, it's fantastic. All the links to all the coaches are down there. They're all fantastic. They make great content and they're very talented. So, yeah, check them out. Absolutely check them out.
Lovely. Thank you.
Cheers.